In this video, you will learn how to work with 5D type coding, which connects the 3D model, the price book, and the 5D model for faster and more accurate estimating. We start in Sigma, where I've opened a price book, in this case the RS means sample, which is structured based on the uniformat classification. You can also use your own price libraries, and you can even open more than one price book if you like. Let's switch to Revit. Here we must assign type codes, which can be thought of as price numbers or item numbers, to all the objects in the model. Since this information is stored on object properties, we need to select both a type parameter and an instance parameter in the project for this purpose. An easy way to do this is to use Connect Settings in the Sigma menu. When clicking the Connect Settings, a wizard will pop up to guide us. As we go through the wizard, we get the option of selecting parameters for type coding. You can choose from existing parameters in your project, or choose Sigma Standard, which will create parameters for you. I will choose Sigma Standard for our example. We complete the wizard, and now Revit creates a 5D model, as we've seen in previous guides. At this stage, we close this 5D model again. We just needed to set up parameters using the Settings wizard before type coding the 3D model, which is what we will continue doing now. In Revit, I click the 5D Type Coding button. In the window that opens, you should see the price books that are open in Sigma. Notice the RS means assemblies from the sample price book. I can browse the price book and see all the assemblies. To assign a type code to an object, first select the object in the 3D model, then select the corresponding price assembly. As an example, let's choose a wall in the building. As can be seen in our type of coding window, the wall is of type Basic Wall Exterior Insulation on Masonry. We simply need to find a wall in the price book that matches. In this example, we can choose Brick Wall Cavity Standard Face with the type code of B 2010 1341 000. A neat trick is to expand and see what the wall consists of. This will provide more security that you are in fact choosing the right wall type. Use the small arrows to open and close assemblies and headings without selecting an assembly component. Keep in mind that it is possible to create new or custom assemblies in Sigma. We will see that in the price book this outer wall is measured in SF, which means square feet, and we can see the price per unit. So we need to make sure that our program knows that when connecting these wall types to the 5D model in Sigma, we want the area to be measured in square feet. Now we can choose to connect the wall of the 3D model to the building component. Because Revit names the unit square feet and the price book calls the unit SF, we are suggested that it could be automatically translated once we get to connect the 5D model, which is fine for now. Now the wall of the 3D model is linked to our price book, and you can say that we've chosen a more specific type of wall. We just looked at what the wall consists of in the price book. If we look at the top of the window, we will see that scope is object type. This means that we have now type coded all similar walls to the price book, i.e. all exterior insulation on masonry walls in the 3D model. If we only wanted to connect the selected wall, we should have chosen Instance in the scope. The rest of the model must now be linked to the price book. And as you can see, it's quick to do when working on object type level. To track what is not type-coded, you can select Hide Type-Coded Elements. Now all the objects that are type-coded will disappear, so we can see what's missing. There will probably always be something left in the model. As an example, it would not make sense to type code the tables and chairs. Before we build our 5D model to see the result, I would just like to show how Revit has stored information in the Sigma typecode parameter, which allows for you to save the Revit model with the typecode information and even pre-assign typecodes on your families. We now choose Connect, and this builds our 5D model and reopens Sigma. In Sigma, we'll find the individual instances. Note that they have type codes in the number field. These are the type codes we've just assigned using the type coding window in Revit. In this case, they are uniformat codes, but it may be all types of codes. The type codes allow us to select Update from Library and automatically get the right assemblies from the price book into the estimate. In the Libraries tab, I find Update from Library. In the window, I select the current library and check that quantities and regulations are preserved, then choose Update. Now we see that assemblies have been added, and we have prices for the elements that were type-coded from the 3D model. We also see that the building parts have a lot of content in them now. This means, for example, that we can see the distribution of materials and wages in resources. And in Insight, we can start slicing and dicing the model based on data from our 3D model and price book. You have now learned how a 3D model is type-coded from pricebooks and how that works in the 5D model. Mastering this will speed up building 5D models with cost, production, and much more from 3D models.